Hello everyone and welcome to today's tutorial on HTML quotation and citation elements. So in this video we are going to explore 6 important HTML tags that help us properly format quote citations and references in our web pages. And first of all, we should learn that what are quotation and citation elements. As you can see in the preview tab that HTML quotation and citation elements help browsers understand who said something, what is being referenced, and how text should be interpreted, not just how it looks. Okay, so first of all, first up we have the ABBR tag, which stands for abbreviation. Okay, so I need abbreviation tag. So first of all, how to use it? You need an ABBR tag. Then you are going, this tag is used to define an abbreviation, okay, or an acronym in your HTML document. When you use this tag, you can provide the full meaning of the abbreviation using the title attribute, which will appear as a tooltip when users hover over it. For example, if you write ABBR, then you're gonna write here the title, and I'm gonna write here the hyper. Okay, so hypertext markup language. Now you need to close this tag too, and when you write this, okay, so when users hover the HTML in the preview tab, you can see when users hover over the HTML on the web page, they will see the full meaning hypertext markup language, as you can see in the preview tab, appear in a small tooltip. So as you can see, this is incredibly useful for accessibility and helps users understand technical terms or shortened words without cluttering your content. So with the full explanations every time. Okay. So you have learned in this section that how to use a BBR tag by using the title attribute. Now we are going to learn about the address tag. Okay, so next we have the address tag. So first of all, I'm gonna click here the address. So this tag defines contact information for the author or owner of a document. It's specifically designed to contain contact details, not just physical addresses in the general, although it can include those as well. So the address tag typically includes information like email address, phone numbers. First of all, I'm going to write here some email address like our email address is info at the rate of parkoomcqs.online. So as you can see, the content has been italicized. Then we are going to write here the phone number, and I'm going to write here the coming soon. Okay, so now uh, it was some, and I'm going to write here another contact detail. So social media links are any other way to contact the author or organization. Browsers usually display this content that is in the address tag in italics by default, and it's semantically meaningful, which helps search engines understand that this particular section contains contact information. Typical usage might look like this. You would wrap the contact information in the address tag, perhaps including a name, email, and physical address, making it clear to both browsers and search engines. When you close this tag, for example, I'm going to close this tag. Now you have closed the uh, address tag. So if you want to separate these lines, you need a BR tag. You can write here. So as you can see, our lines has been separated. Now the next, moving on to the, we are going to move on the BDO tag. BDO stands for bi-directional override. So which stands for, as we have already told you, that BDO tag stands for bi-directional override. So this tag defines the text direction, meaning it controls whether text flows from left to right or right to left. So this is particularly important when you are working with the languages that read from right to left, like Arabic or Hebrew. or when you need to mix different text directions in the same document. So BDO tag has a required attribute called dir. So what do you need? You are going to write here dir. I mean, dir stands for direction. So if you are going to set either LTR, I'm gonna write here the LTR. So LTR stands for left to right, and we are gonna summon another video tag right here direction, and I'm gonna write here RTL. Okay, so the text inside will be displayed in the reverse direction. So if you use a, if I'm gonna write here some text here like this is the text from left to, as you can see, nothing effects, and I'm gonna write here some text. This is the text from to left. So in this way, if I'm gonna write here a BR tag, then you will see the difference. You can see this is the text from uh, I'm not able to write I'm not able to speak from this in the preview tab. This is the text from right to left. Next, let's talk about the black quote tag. Now we have a black quote. I mean block quote. Okay, so block quote tag actually, when you use the block quote tag, this tag defines a section that is quoted from another source. It is used for longer quotations that typically span multiple lines or paragraphs. When you use block quote, browsers typically indent the content to visually distinguish it from the rest of your text, making it clear that this is a quotation from an external source. So you can also add a cite attribute to provide the URL of the source where the quote came from. For example, if you are quoting a paragraph from a research paper, article, or book, you would wrap that entire paragraph or section in the black quote, so block quote. Okay. So I'm gonna write some text here like library is the best place to go and read books. If you use, now you need to close the block code tag too. Okay, so when you open up here, so but also it gives the distinct visual formatting that helps readers identify it is a quotation. Now the fifth tag we are covering is the cite tag. So it defines the title. For example, I'm going to write here the cite. The cite tag defines the title of a work. This could be the title of a book, movie, song, painting, sculpture, research paper, or any other creative or intellectual work. When you use the cite tag, you are telling browsers and search engines that the enclosed text is the title of a creative work. Browsers typically render this text in italics to distinguish it from the regular text. For example, if you're writing about a book, you might say one of the greatest novels of all the time, and now you are going to write here the uh, I'm going to write some text here first of all. For example, I'm going to open up a p tag, paragraph tag. I'm going to write here one of the greatest novels of all time is, and I'm going to write here the cite tag. Now I'm going to write here to kill, as you can see, to kill a mockingbird. And if you, then you are going to write here by Harper Lee. So the title would appear in italics, properly marked up to indicate that it's the title of a work rather than just emphasized text. So this is different from the cite attribute we mentioned earlier with the block quote. The cite tag is for displaying titles visibly in your content, while the cite attribute is for providing metadata about sources. Okay, so now finally we have the quote tag, the sixth tag, and it's the final tag in this section. So we have the quote tag. So how to define it? With the Q only, we defines a short inline quotation Unlike the block quote, which is used for longer block level quotations, the Q tag is for short quotes that appear within a line of text. When you use the Q tag, I mean the quote tag, browsers automatically add quotation marks around the content, so you don't need to add them manually. This ensures consistent quotation mark styling across different browsers and makes your HTML cleaner. For example, if you write the famous saying goes like I'm gonna open up a paragraph tag and I'm gonna write here the famous I'm gonna open up a quote tag Q with a Q to be or not, and I'm gonna close this. The browsers will automatically render it as the famous saying goes, as you can see in the preview tab, to be or not to be, with the proper quotation marks added automatically. So, like the block code tag, you can also use the site attribute with the Q tag to provide a URL reference to the source of the quotation. So, why these tags matter? Now you might be wondering why we need specific tags for these purposes when we could just use regular text formatting. The answer lies in semantic HTML. These tags provide meaning to your content, not just visual styling. So search engines use these semantic tags to better understand your content structure. Screen readers, जो if for example screen readers, okay, so readers use them to provide better context to users with visual impairments, and other developers can more easily understand and maintain your code when you use proper semantic markup. So uh, additionally, while these tags come up with the default styling, you can always customize their appearance using CSS to match your website's design while still maintaining the semantic meaning in your HTML. Before we wrap up, I want to mention that we have covered today is just a subset of HTML's quotation and citation elements. There are many more HTML tags available for different purposes, and if you want to explore the complete list of all available HTML tags, then you can visit the HTML tag reference, which provide comprehensive documentation of every HTML element. And that's it for today's tutorial on HTML quotation and citation elements. We have covered the, as you can see, we have covered the ABBR tag, I mean the abbreviation tag. Then we covered the address tag. Okay, so we covered the tag, and then we also covered the bidirectional override tag, BDO, that was, and we also covered the block code tag, covered this. Then we covered the site tag. Then we also covered the code tag. So these were the 6 tags. I hope this tutorial has been helpful and that you never have a clear understanding of when and how to use each of these elements in your HTML documents. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.